Welcome back. This is section 1.3, your first C program. In this short video, you will write, compile, and run a real C program and understand every single line of it. Every C programmer remembers the first time their code compiled and printed something to the screen. It is a small moment, but it proves everything works. Your editor, your compiler, and your understanding of the pipeline. Let's make that happen. Here is the plan for this video. First, we look at the program itself. You will write, compile, and run your first Hello World program. Next, we study the anatomy of the program. You will meet the include directive and the main function. Then we cover the working parts. Printf, which prints text to the screen, the return statement, and the semicolon that ends each statement. Finally, we look at when things break. You will see what happens with a missing include and the common mistakes beginners make. Open your text editor and create a new file called hello.c in your project folder. Type this program exactly as shown. It is just 6 lines. Every line has a job. First, we will compile and run it. Then we will understand each piece. Switch to your terminal. Move into the folder where you saved hello.c using cd:/c_projects. Then compile with gcc hello.c-o hello. This tells gcc to read hello.c, translate it, and write the result to a file called hello. If the compiler prints nothing, that is success. Silence means no errors. Now run the program with /hello. You should see hello, world on the screen. That text came from the print line in your program. A platform note. On Mac OS and Linux, you type these commands in the terminal. On Windows, use the MSYS2UCRT64 terminal from section 1.2. The commands are identical, except gcc-o hello writes a file called hello.exe, which you still run with /hello. This picture shows the 6 lines in the order they run. The include line is handled before compiling even starts. Then the program enters main, runs printf, and ends with return 0. Let's look at each piece, one at a time. The first line is #include, angle bracket, stdio.h, angle bracket. This tells the C preprocessor to paste the contents of a header file into your code before compiling begins. #include stdio.h makes functions like printf available. Printf is not part of the C language itself. It lives in the standard library, a set of ready-made functions. Without this line, the compiler does not know that printf exists. The next line is int, main, open paren, void, close paren, open brace. Main is the entry point of every C program. When you run the program, the operating system calls main first. This line has 4 parts. Int means the function returns a whole number to the operating system. Main is the name. It must be exactly main, all lowercase. Void inside the parentheses means the function takes no input. And the open brace means the function body starts here. We will see what that returned integer is for in a moment. Inside main, the first statement is printf, open paren, quote, hello, world, \n, quote, close paren, semicolon. Printf is a standard library function. It writes text to standard output, which is usually your terminal. The \n at the end is a newline character. It moves the cursor to the next line, just like pressing enter. Without it, the next prompt would appear right after the word world. The last statement inside main is return 0 semicolon. When a program finishes, it hands one whole number back to whoever started it. That could be the operating system or a script. This number is called the program's exit status or exit code. It is a simple success or failure report. Everyone agrees on the rule. 0 means it worked. Any number that is not 0 means something went wrong, and different numbers can flag different problems. So return 0 at the end of main is the program saying, I finished successfully. Think of it like a delivery receipt. 0 is delivered okay. A non-zero number is a code for what went wrong. This matters because other programs and scripts read this number to decide what to do next. You can check it yourself. After running ./hello, type echo space $? This prints the exit status of the last program that ran. You should see 0. This works the same way in the Mac OS and Linux terminal, and in the Windows MSYS2UCRT64 terminal. Only if you use the native Windows command prompt or PowerShell does the command differ. Command prompt uses echo %ERRORLEVEL%, and PowerShell uses $LASDEXITCODE. Both printf and return 0 end with a semicolon. In C, the semicolon marks the end of a statement, which is one instruction. But not everything needs one. The hash include line does not. It is a preprocessor command, not a C statement. The line int main void open brace does not either. The open brace already starts the body. So the rule is simple. C statements inside a function body end with a semicolon. Forgetting one is a very common beginner mistake. Now remove the hash include stdio.h line from your program. Before compiling, try to predict. Will the compiler accept this? On newer GCC and Clang, the compiler treats this as an error and refuses to build. GCC says, implicit declaration of function printf. On older GCC, it is only a warning and it still builds. The program may run, but it is not correct. Either way, the compiler is telling you, I do not know what printf is. The fix is easy. Add hash include stdio.h back to the top and compile again. A very common mistake. You write the printf line without the closing semicolon, then return 0 on the next line. The compiler reports an error, but it points at the return line, not the printf line. GCC says, expected semicolon before return. The compiler reads left to right. It only notices the missing semicolon when it reaches return. So the rule is, when an error does not make sense for its line, check the line above. Another common mistake. You write int, capital M, a in instead of lowercase main. The compiler builds the code with no error, but the build fails at a later step with undefined reference to main. That step is called the linker, and you will meet it in section 1.4. Why C is case sensitive. Capital M, a in, and lowercase main are completely different names. The system looks for main, all lowercase, as the entry point, so always use lowercase main. The same rule applies everywhere in C. Printf with a capital P is not the same as printf. Let's recap. Every C program follows the same shape. First, the hash include line gives you library functions like printf. Second, main is where the program starts running. Third, statements do the work like printf, and they end with a semicolon. Fourth, return reports an exit status to the operating system. And remember, compiler silence means success. Next, your programs will not always compile on the first try. You will learn to read error messages and fix problems step by step.